Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, August 14th, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Abigail Camilla Dawn Marie Scott of the St. Vincent Girls High School is this country's top performer in the 2015 Caribbean Examinations Council Secondary Education Certificate Examinations, CSEC. Scott recorded 15 subject passes, all at grade 1 level. According to an official release from the Ministry of Education, a total of 3,013 candidates wrote the 2015 CSEC examinations. Of these, 1,479 were private candidates and 1,534 were school candidates. In addition to Abigail Scott's 15 passes, 2 students obtained 13 passes, 10 students obtained 12 passes, 35 students gained 11 passes, and 60 students recorded 10 passes. The Education Ministry adds that for 2015, 18.22% of the passes were grade 1 level, 36.38% at grade 2, and 45.4% at grade 3. There were 5 schools which recorded percentage pass rates of 80 or more. These schools are the Girls High School, 98.27%, the St. Vincent Grammar School, 94.41%, the St. Joseph's Convent Kingstown, 91.48%, the Thomas Saunders Secondary, 87.3%, and Bishop's College, 80.28%. The school which recorded the most significant improvement over the previous year is the Buckermont Bay Secondary School, whose pass rate increased from 51.08% in 2014 to 70.1% in 2015. This represents a 19.02% increase. SVG-TV extends congratulations to Abigail Scott and all the other successful students in this year's CSEC examinations. And speaking to SVG-TV News, the future medical student Abigail Scott says she is beyond happy with her results, even though it came as no surprise to her. Scott says she worked tremendously hard over the years, and in particular the months leading up to CXE.
Extremely elated. I can't say I didn't expect it, because I wouldn't have done so much subjects if I didn't know I could do it, but just the feeling to know that you have done something great feels wonderful. It was not easy. It was very challenging, but it was manageable. You had to make a lot of sacrifices, studying almost every evening, and getting home late was kind of hard because I had classes every afternoon, and then upon having classes, you have your homework and studying to do. So it was challenging, but it was manageable.
The young lass admitted that she was motivated to do 15 subjects as a means of setting a new national record. She adds that her achievements would not have been possible without the help of God and the support of family and friends.
First of all, I'd like to give thanks to God for giving me the ability and strength to achieve such an accomplishment. I would also like to say thanks to my teachers for all their hard work and dedicated teaching. I would also like to say thanks to my parents and my friends and my classmates for encouraging me along the way.
The 15-year-old says she plans on attending the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College Division of Arts and Sciences and hopes to be as successful in the CAPE examinations. And parents of Abigail Bernard and Dawn Scott say their daughter's achievement came as no surprise to them, as Abigail has always been a straight-A student with an enormous amount of determination.
Yes, it is, but I wasn't too surprised because I know she had been working consistently, right? And even the results from just from the school, you know what I mean, I knew that she would do good. I have confidence in God, confidence in her, and I know she was going to do good.
Well, I'm very happy that she has achieved such a milestone. It wasn't really a surprise because throughout JHS she has maintained an average of over 90%, and she's just been consistent, and she's an extremely hard worker.
Leader of the Democratic Republican Party, the DRP, Anicia Batiste, is making a call for live televised debates among the 4 political party leaders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Batiste earlier today told SVG-TV News that while she has made previous calls for political debates here, after watching the U.S. Republican presidential debate recently, she is even more of the view that political issues can be debated here without what she describes as a cuss-out.
We engage in conversations and arguments and discussions which focus on the individual candidates, and there are a number of things that are said, disparaging remarks, some of them bordering on defamatory remarks, and a sort of kind of cuss-out culture in talk radio. Political debates organized would give us the opportunity to focus instead on the issues and allow each political party leader to outline their plans and policies to Vincentians, thereby allowing Vincentians to have an opportunity to assess them based on the issues and based on the policies, and make their decisions as to who they will vote for based on those things. It would call for more maturity, clarity, and being more effective in your presentation of yourself, and take us away from that downright nasty culture that has developed in our land with respect to the way we compete politically.
The DRP leader believes that the debates will also ensure that political leaders keep their word and promises to voters while publicly outlining their plans and policies.
I'm actually calling upon the other political leaders, let us have debate. Let us come together. Let some journalists and others organize and come with their questions and pose these questions to us on the various issues that people would like to hear us on, and let the people know exactly where we stand. And the reason why I asked for 3 debates, I don't just want one debate, at least three debates. Why? Having 3 debates allows the persons who are asking the questions to question us on a variety of issues, and it also allows the public to be able to assess us on things like consistency. Are you going to flip-flop on a question in your second debate? Are you going to change your position in the final debate from what it was in the first one? These are the things that can come out when you have us tested, as it were, on 3 different occasions on different issues. I really think it's important, and I want to say I am prepared, I am open for such an activity, and I say let's have it, let's debate, bring it on.
And the leader of the SVG Green Party, Ivan O'Neill, is also calling for a televised debate among the political leaders in SVG. O'Neill says the live debate will give political leaders an opportunity to address the many issues of public interest, including the economy and the Argyle International Airport.
And I would like the television station and others to organize a debate between the 4 political parties in this country. Let us look at the economy so that people could see who is best suited to move the country forward. Ralph Gonsalves, the people have given Ralph 15 years virtually, and he has shown his best. And his best is worse because what we've had, the director of audit has failed Ralph. Ralph cannot manage money. The director of audit has failed Ralph an audit for 2008, 2009, and 2010, and he will not resign. And he's still there, and he cannot manage money. So where do we go from here? I really don't want to get into the Argyle Airport. The airport, the orientation of the runway is wrong. Argyle Airport is dead, in my opinion, technically.
Meanwhile, the Green Party leader says SVG is in need of what he describes as a structural change with a push towards technology. O'Neill says once the country is technologically savvy, investors will come.
We need to get the university, have it driven by science and technology, create high-tech people, and then you can attract foreign entities to come here and set up. Also, we need to build factories, a tea factory. Why are we selling all our produce here to Trinidad? They manufacture it and bring it back here. All that is ridiculous. So those are the things that we need to do. And we need to focus on the young people. We don't even have a sports industry here. I would like to think that we should be able to produce some real long-distance runner in North Leeward and North Windward. Pamela has set the tone. Why don't we follow it? There's no money. The football, the organization for the football here, there are no facilities. Rather bad. So that's the way we want to go forward.
The New Democratic Party, the NDP, is making it clear that everything was conducted above board as it pertains to the purchasing of its headquarters in 1984. In a telephone interview today with SVG-TV News, General Secretary of the NDP, Alan Cruikshank, says the payments for the NDP headquarters were made from contributions from various party supporters, and a percentage from the salaries of then government ministers were deducted, which went toward the building. Cruikshank says the records to prove legitimate payment for the NDP building can easily be researched and verified.
The New Democratic Party of St. Vincent and the Grenadines bought that property and paid for it with contributions from the members of parliament and other members of the party and other kind and friendly and generous supporters who, in their wisdom, from time to time made their own contributions to the development of that project. As I stated earlier today, our salary slips can be checked at the source, that is the Treasury of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, from the 1980s way back, to see exactly what sort of contribution those of us who are more fortunate than others did while we were in Parliament.
The NDP's General Secretary claims that his party has endured several malicious attacks from the ULP of being corrupt, which he says have gone unfounded. Cruikshank adds that he will be advising the NDP to look into taking legal action against the trustees of the ULP, who he says insinuated the NDP attained its headquarters through ill-gotten means.
I think as long as the evidence exists, I think this matter should go further. I think it should be examined to see whether legal actions can be taken against persons who are trying to damage other decent citizens' characters. I think the party should look at it to see if there's anything here to take the matter beyond talking on radio. Take it into another stage to let people pay the amount.
Dean of the Social Sciences Faculty at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, Vincentian Dr. Justin Robinson, says despite criticisms from external organizations, Caribbean economies have been able to achieve decent levels of growth over the years. Dr. Robinson made a statement last evening while delivering a lecture at French's House organized by the Vincentian Students Association, Cave Hill, on the topic Economic Development Strategies in CARICOM, Institutional Incoherence or a Unique Hybrid. Dr. Robinson says, contrary to popular opinion, there is evidence to show that there has been an improvement in the region and Caribbean countries have been doing better than most developing countries around the world.
The average per capita income in St. Vincent was $4,603 US. That was sort of the average income in the economy. 2000 to 2007, we saw a decent jump in that, going to 7,686. And 2008 to 2014, again, that has gone up further to 10,141. And the story I sort of take from this is that the St. Vincent, the OECS, has really, we've gotten materially better. I mean, I can see it when I come home. I mean, I was picked up by one of the young students this morning. When Jackson and I were running around as teenagers, only a few rich people had a car. Now cars are everywhere. I was taken to a nice wine bar for refreshment. We used to go by Mud's Rum Shop. So the material standard of living has certainly improved in the region. And we actually have, on a per capita basis, we are within touching distance or even better than a number of other developing regions.
Dr. Robinson, while speaking on the levels of debt in the region, says that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been managing its debt to GDP very successfully as compared to other countries in the region.
And I hadn't actually recognized this as clearly until I was putting together this presentation, that St. Vincent is actually one of the better performers in the region in terms of debt to GDP. But one of the things, besides our beautiful beaches, one of the things we are known for is the Caribbean has some of the most highly indebted countries in the world. Our debt to GDP ratios are quite large. So in the OECS as a whole, 1990 to 99, the average debt to GDP was 75% of GDP. By 2014, that was at 93% of GDP. And a lot of that reduction was really due to some major debt restructurings in place like St. Kitts, Grenada, Antigua. A number of our major economies have gone through debt restructuring. Effectively said, well, we cannot service this debt, we need to restructure the terms. So I think that's another area where we depart quite dramatically from other developing countries.
Meanwhile, addressing the subject of economic development strategies in CARICOM, Dr. Robinson says with the people of the region wanting to have universal benefits such as healthcare and education, one can also expect to be faced with high taxes.
Every citizen has the right to a full range of these services. Very high levels of labor protection. Strong trade unions, negotiated wages, difficult to hire and fire, very strong labor protection. But you have high taxes. So at the high end of the personal tax rate in Switzerland, you can pay 75% of your income in taxes. You have personal tax rates in excess of 50%. You have value-added tax 20% plus. So again, that's kind of what I'm asking, that's kind of what I'm saying. It seems to me that in the region, we want to have universal access to these services. We want the strong labor protection, but then we don't want to pay any taxes. So can you have, and it's almost what we call a cooperative model of capitalism in a way that there isn't that intense individualism competition.
As Caribbean countries continue to grapple with the effects of the global economic meltdown, the cooperative body in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is taking steps to ensure that credit unions here are on a path that will ensure soundness, business success, and continuity. Earlier today, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cooperative League Limited held a Board of Directors and Supervisors Leadership Development Symposium aimed at better equipping the executives with competitive skills and techniques that will result in the advancement of their respective credit unions. President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cooperative League, Kelvin Pompey, says that the League is very pleased to be hosting the symposium, which he says is very important to the future development and the success of credit unions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Pompey says for a period of 10 years up to 2015, membership penetration amongst credit unions moved from 36% to 64%.
Ladies and gentlemen, with assets in excess of $320 million, savings of EC $312 million, current loan balances of EC $226 million, and capital of $78 million. Credit unions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are prominent mobilizers of finance, providers of capital for small and medium enterprises, and providers of financial advice for countless members. The ownership of credit unions by citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been growing exponentially. Currently, from a population of 110,000, credit union membership is at present in excess of 70,000.
Pompey says with the size and complexity of the industry today, individuals on credit union boards or employed at credit unions must have highly developed leadership skills and awareness to ensure the effectiveness and efficiencies of the financial cooperatives.
Through voluntary will and the support and encouragement of the League, the number of credit unions is now down to 4, with greater critical mass to better serve members and compete more effectively. With amalgamation and consolidation, however, more work has to be done to strengthen these institutions so that they possess the required quality of human capital, service, and technology to meet the increased demand. Those in the vanguard of governing, protecting, and furthering the cause of the credit union movement have a tougher job now, one that requires tenacity and greater sophistication in managing a cooperative financial institution and the sector with vast resources.
Additionally, representative of non-bank credit union institutions and Money Services Supervision Department, GAFIN Grenada, Dennis Felix, says the credit union sector remains quite robust and has proven to be very resilient to the many challenges that have caused substantial disruption of the financial sector.
In Grenada, total assets of the sector crossed $500 million for the first time in 2014. And I'm told from the information presented by your president that here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you have had similar successes. This reflects the strength of the basic business model on which credit unions were built. This model, built on the principle of people helping people, continues to serve its members well by helping to improve their livelihoods collectively. Credit unions must, however, continue taking a cautious approach to managing their affairs to survive in these times.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of SVG Financial Services Authority, FSA, Shada Ballers, commended the Cooperative League for its efforts, which she says are fully endorsed by the FSA, this country's regulator of credit unions.
It is quite simple. It is because over the past 2.5 years since the FSA has been in existence, we have found corporate governance, the system by which organizations are run, by which they are directed and controlled, and in fact led, to be an area of commonality, which needs enhancing in a wide cross-section of entities under the FSA's oversight. We are aware that such a finding is not peculiar to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but has been universally common and even endemic in some cases. Indeed, at the heart of the shocking financial failures around the world and the region in this decade has not merely been issues of solvency or liquidity or other purely financial matters, but fundamentally poor management and poor corporate governance structures, inextricably and directly linked to poor performance, poor results, and failings.